Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's up? You guys, we are full swing into 2025. Can you believe it is January the 12th? We are almost halfway through the first month of 2025. Okay, look, 2024 did not wait for us, and 2025 ain't waiting either. Hey, Erica. Hi, Miss V. What's up, ladies? Oh, look, Jatam, look, are y'all still at corporate? Are you ladies still at TLC corporate headquarters? Are y'all headed home? How are you doing? Rich Rising. What's going on, Miss V? All right, ladies and gents, those of us joining, my name is Shay Hope. Welcome to my IG Live. And I wanted to come on here real quick. And I want to talk to the people. I want to get a feel for what y'all are feeling in 2025. Like, who is excited? Jatam said, I'm home. I live in Detroit. Hi, yes, Jatam, I know where you live. Okay. Right. And TLC headquarters is in Detroit, right? Am I right about that? I think so. Okay. All right. So that's good. Just got home from Detroit, Miss V. Look, I was looking at all your social medias. I saw everybody having a good time. Awesome. Cool beans. Okay, Jatam. Well, I'm in San Francisco right now. I'm over on the west side, and I'm happy to say it is 60 something degrees over here. So I'm feeling much better. Oh my goodness. It was amazing. I bet. Look, from the videos and reels and posts that I saw, it absolutely looked amazing. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm over in San Francisco. Got away. I avoided the snow in Atlanta over the weekend. Thank you. My goodness. Snow is not my thing, you guys. I am forever a Southern girl. I grew up in the South, raised in the South. I don't know how people do it. I guess if I was born in an area of the country where it snowed, I would be used to it, right? The way people are used to it, I guess, right? But this body is made for hot, humid, warm weather. Yes, the sweet South. I am a Southern girl to my core. I would rather be burning up hot than freezing any day, because I can find a way to cool off, okay? It's a lot harder to warm up. Like, it's a lot that goes into it. And it's like, no matter how warm you try to get, you can never get warm enough. But baby, you can cool off. So 2025, I don't think I've gone live. Have I gone live since January 1st? I know I was live on January 1st. That might have been the last time, maybe. I got to look back and see. I can't remember. But definitely wanted to come on today and just talk very quickly about, what are y'all feeling for 2025? Like, and not necessarily about, setting resolutions. Like, I don't set resolutions anymore. I plan. I do a vision board every year. For those of you that know me, are close to me, you know that I absolutely love vision boards. I believe in the power of them. I believe in the power of manifestation and speaking positive affirmations every morning and or night over your life, and really speaking into existence what it is that you want. And I absolutely believe that we can have everything that we want. God says that we can have it. If God put it into our heads to dream about, then there's a reason why it's there, okay? And it's up to us to obtain those things. And the best way that we can obtain those things are by, number one, believing that you can obtain it. Number two, acting on that belief. Okay. And number three, putting a plan in action. Okay, you got to, in order to act on that belief, you have to put a plan in action, and having a vision board is one of the tools that we can have in order to put that plan in action. So it's not enough to just believe that you want it and then put a plan in action. You also have to absolutely act on it. So I want to talk very quickly about some actionable steps that you can take, that we can take, to keep our minds healthy here in 2025. So I read this article the other day and it started me thinking, and I said, yes, okay. Like, if you want something different in life, then you have to be different. You have to act different. You have to think differently. And, we know the things that we're supposed to do. I don't think it's a secret, it's easy not to do the things that we're supposed to do. But quite honestly, if we're not living the life that we want, if we don't have the things that we want, there's no one to blame but ourselves. We can't blame the government. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your spouse. You can't blame your kids. You can't blame that teacher that didn't pass you in that class. You can't blame the school systems. You can't blame your job. You can't blame your friends. You can't blame that man that did you wrong, that woman that did you wrong. The only person, honestly, you can blame is yourself, because you have the power to create the life of your dreams. So here are 10 ways to keep your mind and body healthy in 2025. Number one, move your body. So there's a direct correlation between your physical health and your mental health. All right. So scientists say that exercise leads to extra blood flow and chemicals released in the brain. So we've got to move our body, you guys, every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. If you just get up and, walk around your neighborhood for 10 minutes, like, just do that every day. 10 minutes is not a lot. And after a while, you'll want to walk more than 10 minutes. You'll find yourself walking 15, then 20, then 30, then an hour, then, trust me, get up and move. And I like to go outside and exercise more so than being in a gym or inside. I mean, I will exercise inside sometimes, but I like to get out in nature. I believe it inspires me a little bit more, and it helps the time go a lot quicker when I'm actually outside, right? I don't think about looking at the wall clock or looking at my watch like I'm outside and I'm enjoying nature, right? But if it's bad weather outside, then I can understand being inside and doing a quick workout. All right. Number two, address your anxiety. Okay. Like, if you're starting to feel anxious about something, you've really got to, don't hide from it. Don't keep it bottled up, because that stress makes you ill at ease, and that causes disease. Okay. So you've got to focus on your values. Focus on what makes you feel good. Focus on what's good and right and feels good to you, not the anxiety. And try not to make things a bigger deal than what they are. What do you mean by that, Shay? I mean, don't make something that's really not that catastrophic into something major. Like, we can work ourselves up into something that really doesn't, it really doesn't take all that, right? Like, here's the thing. Let's say you get laid off from a job, or you get fired, or what have you. Now, I understand no one likes to get laid off. No one likes to get fired. It's never an convenient time to lose a job, especially if you don't have another one lined up, especially if you've got a lot of bills, that are rolling in, especially if you have kids, dependents, what have you. If you're the breadwinner, or, you contribute to the household income, so a loss of income is definitely going to be impactful. Like, I get it. It's never like, ooh, cause for cheering and celebration, right? But check this out. The same way you got that job, you can get another one if that's what you want, okay? And I know people are like, oh, well, you know, jobs aren't always that easy to come by, blah, 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 blah. Hey, what you speak about, you bring about. Change that narrative to I'm going to get hired. I'm going to get hired, you know, right away. The right job is lined up for me. The right career is right around the corner. This is what I needed. Or, hey, for those of us who are entrepreneurs, this was just what I needed to get me out there, to put a swift kick in my behind so I can start that business. This is just what I needed so I could go full time on my business, right? Sometimes we pray for things, right? Listen to me now. We pray to God for an opportunity. We pray to God for, a chance to, I want to live this type of life, Lord. And, I want to be able to do these things for my family. I want this multi-million-dollar home. I want this type of car. I want this type of lifestyle. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. And he lines things up for us in order to get that. And then we go, oh, hold up. Wait a minute. This didn't come the way that I thought it would. This doesn't look the way that I thought it would look. It's not supposed to, guys. It's not supposed to. So we have to see the good in everything. We have to know everything always works out for us, even when it looks like it doesn't. We have to know that it's working out for us. It's working in our favor, right? So that's what I mean. Address your anxiety, but focus on your values. Change that narrative. Number 3, challenge your brain. Challenge your brain. What do I mean by that? Read books. Hello. Read books. 10 pages a day. The most successful people in the world have several things in common. And one of those things is they read. And I'm not talking about reading, tabloid magazines or romance novels. They're reading successful books. They're reading personal development. They're listening to audios that help them with growing their mind. All right. Learning another language. That's a great way to challenge your brain. Crossword puzzles, word searches. I remember my mom, I don't know if she still does it, but I know for the longest, I would always see her doing word searches. And I was like, she seems to really like those. Like, what is that? But I know it's because she was, like challenging her brain. So that's a good thing to do. Number 4, get a good night's sleep. So what we're talking about is 10 ways to keep your mind and body healthy in 2025. This is number 4. This is probably my favorite tip because I absolutely believe in getting a good night's sleep. What is a good night's sleep? Thank you, Bree. Thank you so much. Absolutely. You're welcome. A good night's sleep is 7 to 8 hours. Listen, I read an Essence magazine years ago. I was in my 20s when I read an Essence magazine article, and it had like 10 women of color on there, 10 Black women. They all were in their 70s, 80s, 90s. And there were at least, I want to say it was 3 things that they all had in common that they said was the secret to their youthful looks. Because when I tell you, none of these women looked over 50. Like, these Black women were bad, okay? They looked not a wrinkle, not a frown line, not a overweight, saggy body. Like, they all looked good. Number 1, they said they all drink water. That was one thing. They said they drink a lot of water daily. And number 2 was they got 7 to 8 hours of sleep minimum. I said, oh, okay. I can do those 2 things. Like, we all have access to that. We all can do that, you guys. And there was something else. What was the third thing? But I definitely know those were the two things for sure that when I heard that, I said, that's it. From here on out, I'm going to make sure I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night and drink plenty of water. And baby, I know I don't look my age. So, so that's number 4. Number 5, get unstuck. You guys, it's time for us to get unstuck. There's too much opportunity out here. There's too much power. There's too much wealth. There's too much for us to go after, to be sitting around talking about someday. There is no such day as someday. When you look on the calendar, I see Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, but I don't see a someday. Get unstuck, you guys. Write things out. Journal. I've started journaling again. I absolutely love it. I've started journaling again because I think it's so important for us to put our thoughts on paper, right? And to be able to go back and look at that. And I promise you, it does something. Like when I write, I find that ideas just start coming to me and things start coming to me more and more. Okay. So write things out. Think about the end result that you want and then work your way backwards. I'll give you a prime example. If you want a promotion at your job, like write that out in the affirmative, okay? I will be whatever that position is give yourself a date. It's not real until you have a date. If it's going to take you think 60 days, write that date down. 90 days, write that date down. 6 months, write that date down, whatever it is. And then start thinking about all the things or what things you are going to need to do in order to get that promotion. What will it require? Who do you have to be? How do you have to change? Okay, Bree says, I really want to get back into journaling. I do a page of gratitude on the front and affirmations on the back. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I love journaling, Bree. And when I go back and look at some of the things that I've written, I'm just like, oh, wow. Okay. And I remember like what kind of frame of mind I was in at that point and what was going on in my life. And I can see a pattern of certain things. And I also can see some of the things that I've accomplished, right? So yeah, put it everywhere so you can see it. Absolutely. Write it down. That's what that vision board, I feel like, does for everyone. When you do your vision board, it's not enough to just do it. Like, put it somewhere where you can see it every day. A lot of people do digital vision boards, that way it's in their phone. So every day they can look at it. They might make it their screensaver, on their phone or their laptop, and that's a great idea as well. All right. So that's number 5. Number 6 of the 10 ways to keep your mind and body healthy in 2025. Number 6, stay cool. They're talking about body temperature in this, but I also can say, stay cool when it comes to just, being real calm when you have conversations or when you're dealing with someone. Even if someone's intentionally trying to get you riled up, take a deep breath, but stay cool. Heat can affect the brain. Okay, that's physiological, that's proven. And hot days impair cognition, make us aggressive and irritable. So like during the warm summer months, make sure that you're staying hydrated. Make sure that you are, staying in cool environments as much as you can. Like, don't get overheated. And you mentioned getting unstuck. I thought about vision mapping. So mapping out the steps to hit the goals. Yeah, absolutely. Vision mapping. Protecting your peace and energy is important. And you just taught me something with the heat. Yeah, absolutely. We have to protect our peace. We do. He who angers you controls you. What angers you controls you. So don't easily be angered by something that somebody says. And heat is something that, the temperature, the weather, like we have no control over that. It's going to be what it's going to be, right? But we can absolutely control, cooling ourselves down, calming down, drinking water, putting ourselves in a different environment, that sort of, there are ways that we can get cool so that the heat is not affecting us in that way. All right. Number 7, quiet your inner critic. I cringe whenever I hear people, say things that I'm just like, ooh, do they realize what those words are actually doing to them? Because once I started paying attention to the things that I was saying, I started to watch my words. I started to watch even my thoughts. And I cancel and delete anything that doesn't sound positive, affirming, uplifting, that's empowering. Okay. So, and it's the simplest of things. Like, we talk to ourselves all the time, or we say certain things all the time, and we don't always think about what it is that we're saying. But if you really stop and think, like, is that putting me closer to a fulfilled, wonderful, prosperous, abundant, healthy life, or is that moving me further away? So, we have to quiet that inner critic. Stop talking about what we can't do, or who we can't be, or what we don't have, and talk more about what we do have, who we are becoming, who we want to be, who we are right now. Like, speak in the affirmative. Don't say that you are BROKE, because you'll continue to be BROKE, and realize that being BROKE, see, I don't even say that word, is a mindset. Okay. It has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has everything to do with your mindset, because I can think of thousands of stories of successful millionaires and billionaires who started out with not a lot of money, but they knew they were going to be wealthy before the money came in. So they were rich and wealthy in mindset long before the dollar signs got added to their bank account. All right. So watch your words and watch your thoughts. And it's going to take time, but you will start correcting yourself when you notice, when you take inventory of what you're saying and how you're thinking, and start changing that. And it's okay. Like, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Like, I'm still working on me. I'm always working on how I'm thinking, how I'm talking, what I'm doing. Like, I'm still a work in progress. I think that's the beauty of life. Like, every day that we get up, we have a chance. We have another shot to get this thing right. Okay. What'd you say, Bree? I'm working on this and having since started, I'm noticing it in others and helping them to change the way they speak too. Yeah, absolutely. One of my girlfriends, I correct her sometimes with, just with the way that, she's speaking, because I know she doesn't mean to say it, but she'll say it. And then, so now I'll wait until she finishes her thought out. And then I'll go back and I'll be like, you mean when you do start doing this, or you mean, what I mean? And she's like, oh, well, yeah. That's what I meant. I'm like, okay, but you got to say it, because every time you say the opposite, you're continuing to draw to you that energy that, that your life is like this, when you really want your life to be like that. So it's important, and if you really love someone, you will tell them that. You won't have a problem, letting them know, like, hey, you got to change the way you're speaking. You got to change the way you're thinking. Trust me, they'll thank you for it in the long run, and if they don't, I mean, your vibe attracts your tribe, sometimes you got to find a new tribe. All right. So that's number 7. Number 8, Take care of your physical health. This is so important, okay? See your doctor regularly. Like, I can't stress this enough. Get to your doctor, you guys. Get a physical exam. Everyone should be going to see their primary care physician at least once a year for your annual physical exam. All right. And then ladies, you need to make sure that, you're seeing your OBGYN or your GYN, what have you. Okay. Making sure you're getting that female area looked at, girl, everything. Okay. We got to get that done. Women, making sure that we, if you're a certain age or at a certain risk factor, you're getting your mammograms. All right. And seeing your dentist, okay, twice a year. Like, you should be going for your 6-month, dental checkup. Making sure that you're keeping your teeth in check. All right. Taking care of that mouthpiece. Okay. For those of you who wear glasses, contacts, I'll include myself in that because I do wear glasses at night, when I'm driving. I should probably be wearing them more. But yeah, I just don't need them during the day. I only use them for, like if I need to see something long distance, like if I'm at the movies, or if something's far away. And especially at night when I'm driving, like at nighttime, I can't see without my glasses when I'm driving, baby. I need those things on. But anywho, so, if you need to see your optometrist, make sure that you're going to your optometrist once a year. Get those physicals, you guys. Get to the doctor. We have to make sure that we are staying on top of things. Eat right, stay hydrated, okay? When people say things like, blood pressure runs in my family, bad cholesterol, high cholesterol runs in my family. It does not run in our family. And quite frankly, I'm tired of us saying that. And as Black people, I'm really tired of us saying that. It doesn't run in our family. It's something that we perpetuate with the foods that we eat and the lifestyle that we live. Okay. So there's a way that we can control that because look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical field at all. And I don't pretend to be. I'm not a nurse. I don't prescribe anything. I can't diagnose anything. But I am so anti-medicine. I honestly believe the pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies are in big cahoots with one another to stay in business. And they will stay in business as long as they keep us on medicine. So they don't do anything to help us get rid of certain diseases and conditions. These medicines only treat the symptoms, but that is not helping us. So I am forever against me. And I'm speaking for me. I'm not speaking for any of you, but I'm forever against taking medicine to treat anything. Like, I don't have high blood pressure, okay? Has my blood pressure ever been elevated? Absolutely, depending on what I'm going through. Hell, sometimes I'll go into my doctor's office and they'll be like, oh, your blood pressure is really high. I'm like, really? You think so? Yeah, it's probably because I've been dealing with your knucklehead front desk office all day. I digress, though. But anywho, the thing is, sometimes we have to make sure that we are taking matters into our own hands. And we can absolutely do things to make sure that we're not, on that elevated blood pressure by what? Hey, meditate. If you got to do a nice little 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute meditation before you go to see your doctor, make sure that you're drinking lots of water. Make sure that you're cutting down that sodium intake. Be very careful of the foods that you're eating. Look at the labels when you're at the grocery store. Look at the labels of things that you're buying. How much sodium content do they have in there? And then how are you cooking at home? I don't even buy salt. I don't have salt in my house at all. There is no salt at all, okay? Like there's so many other seasonings and herbs, natural herbs that you can use to flavor, your food. And I am not a culinary queen, but I will follow a recipe, okay? And yeah, I like to flavor my foods with with other things, but yeah, I don't use salt at all. So make sure that we're walking away from the salt, you guys. We don't need to put salt on everything. We don't need to put salt in all of our food. All right. So take care of your physical health. Number 9 was make a new friend. Okay. So these are 10 ways to keep your mind and body healthy in 2025. So number 9 is make a new friend. It doesn't serve you any purpose to feel like, you're the only person, in your world. Like, don't feel like you're lonely, like no one has your back. Have I ever felt like that before? Oh gosh, yeah, but was that realistic? Absolutely not. I mean, we all go through things and we feel like, oh my gosh, no one understands. I'm out here by myself. All I got is me and Jesus. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've all, well, I can't say we all, but a lot of us have felt like that before. I have felt like that, but I can honestly say I feel very blessed to know and realize that I absolutely have a tribe of people. I have family members who love me, who support me, who I know if I give the phone call, if I send the text message, if I throw up the hootie hoo, they got me, right? Like there's no questions asked. They come in and they got me. They might ask me 1,000,001 questions later, but if I say I need them, they right there. So I am thankful that I have those type of people in my life. And but for anybody who feels like, hey, I feel like I'm starting over. Maybe you're in a new city, you're in a different country. You can absolutely make new friends. Join a club, join an organization. I think on Facebook they have different groups you can be a part of. Like find groups that have similar interests that you have, single moms or parents of children with learning disabilities or pet moms, pet dads, that sort of thing. People who hunt, people who fish, people who garden, just whatever your interests are. Like you can find clubs, communities, organizations, that have those similar interests. Okay. And yeah, and join those. Like there's nothing wrong with venturing out and trying something different. And, you'll be pleasantly surprised. All right. And then number 10, the last, but certainly not the least, 10 ways to keep your mind and body healthy in 2025. Number 10, forgive or don't. Now, what they say about forgiveness, and this is so true, forgiveness is for you, it's not for the other person. So, 2 things I definitely like to say about forgiveness is, number 1, I think the first and most important person you should ever forgive is yourself. Okay? Give yourself grace. Give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. You are not perfect by any means. Now, you are perfectly made in the image and likeness of God. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. But we are human. We make mistakes. We have our faults. We make decisions based upon the information that we have at that time. Okay. We are emotional. I don't care what anyone says. We are emotional. You have to train yourself to not always think with your emotions first, so give yourself some grace. So that's number 1. And then number 2, forgive others. The same way you want to be forgiven, forgive others, and realize that everybody is going through something or has gone through something. Everyone makes mistakes. And that was probably one of the most freeing things for me when I really started thinking about, some of the things that people did to me in my life that I felt like, they had wronged me. And, it would be easy, the easy way out is to just be like, oh, F them. I don't give a damn about them. I don't have to speak to them another day in my life. Whatever. They don't mean ish to me. They peace, bye. But that's childish, right? That's really childish. And that's not like that. That's not going to further what it is that you want. That's not planting a seed of, of prosperity and abundance and happiness and peace and joy. It's really not. It's really not. I think it's more powerful. I think it's more, empowering and graceful and dynamic and beautiful and joyous to really give grace to a person that you feel like has wronged you, and just be like, you know what? That wasn't even about me. And it wasn't. It honestly isn't. When people do wrong things to you, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Especially if they intentionally do it. It has everything to do with them. It has everything to do with, their hangups, their insecurities, their fears, their doubts, whatever it is they're have going on. It has nothing to do with you. And then also, like, sometimes they're just, if they're not aware of what it is, it really don't have anything to do with you. Like, you have to live your life, and you can't live somebody else's life for them. You can't make their decisions and their choices. Like, they have to do whatever it is they want to do the way they want to do it. You have to do whatever it is you want to do the way you want to do it. Like, we are all out here hopefully living our best lives. And look, we gonna mess it up sometimes. And the beauty is, as long as you have breath in your body, you can figure it out and make it right. Or, okay, I didn't do it right this way, but now I'm going to do it right. Okay, this didn't work. Okay, now I'm going to do it this way. And forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to have that person around you anymore. I tell people sometimes I've learned to love people from afar, because depending on where I am in my journey, I may not need that kind of energy around me. I may not want that person to have that sort of access to me anymore. So, I'm going to love them, but I'm going to do it from over here. I'm going to do it from up here and let them stay right there. Because as long as I'm elevating, I can't allow myself to be pulled down by anybody else. All right? If I'm constantly reaching up, but they're constantly trying to pull me down and, hey, remember this, remember when you did this, remember when you said that, like they keep trying to bring me back to a place I don't want to be anymore. Like, I gotta let that go. That's that crab in the barrel mentality, okay? Like, don't let someone bring you back down with them when you are elevating. You have to go higher, further, faster. And you can't do that holding on to your past or holding on to, somebody else's fears or what somebody else thinks about you, or, how they thought you should be, how they think you should be, what they want you to be. You have to be okay with letting things go, forgiving, loving, and progressing. So, all right, you guys. I really enjoyed coming on here. This was therapeutic for me. I hope this definitely blessed somebody on here. For those of you who are watching the replay, I definitely hope you got something out of it. Leave a comment below. What are some things that you're doing in 2025 to keep your mind and your body healthy? Because we absolutely have to make sure that our mind is sharp, okay? We have to keep our mind sharp. We have to keep our bodies sharp and in pristine condition. And so thank you for everyone who hopped on the live. Make sure that you are following me here on IG at ShayHope_. Shay is spelled SHAY. I'm also, my IG business page is at The Hope Strategist 2019. I'm on Facebook, Shay Hope. I'm also on YouTube. My YouTube channel is The Hope Strategist. And I am, putting content on there as much as I can. Make sure that you're following me. If you're not following me on YouTube, make sure that you follow me. I am looking to grow my YouTube subscribers. So I'd really appreciate your support. And for those of you who want to get your finances in order, reach out to your girl. I am offering a complimentary financial needs assessment so that we can look at where you are financially and get a plan in action to get your finances in order for 2025. I am on a goal of helping 100 families make 6 to 7 figures this year, okay, including my own family, all right? Make 6 to 7 figures, getting debt-free, becoming financially independent, all right? Protecting your income, making sure that you put yourselves and your families in a position of financial freedom, all right? So send me a DM, all right? Holla at your girl. Blessings and abundance to everyone. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.